The first step is to jack up the front of the car and put the front of the car on jack stands. This relieves tension on the control arms and then subsequently allows you to access the control arm bushings. The next step is to remove the aluminum skid or reinforcement plate, which is held on by 8 16mm bolts. BMW indicates that these bolts should not be reused because they're stretch bolts. Full disclosure, I have reused mine once or twice and it's been okay, but officially you're supposed to replace them. The next step is to lower the control arm. Do this by removing 2 16mm bolts that hold on the old front control arm bushing, like such. Once those bolts are removed, the entire control arm is able to be pulled down so that you can access the old front control arm bushing. The fourth step is probably the most difficult and requires the most patience. Ultimately, what you're looking to do is remove the old control arm bushing by pushing against the control arm itself, that gray portion in the middle, which will subsequently pull the old bushing off. So hook the 3-jaw puller around the old bushing, and as you tighten the center portion, it will begin to pull off the old bushing. Once I have hand tightened the puller into the correct position that I'm looking to have it, I use a ratchet to push against the old control arm, subsequently removing the old control arm bushing. Next, you want to install your new front control arm bushing. I tried to He-Man mine on, and then realized that I needed to lubricate it with either soapy water or silicone grease. I use silicone grease. But ultimately, you want to lubricate the control arm itself and the inner portion of the front control arm bushing so that it slides on, and the stamped part number should be visible, aka pointing down as you install it. To reiterate, you want to lubricate the control arm itself with silicone grease or soapy water, and then the inner portion of the control arm bushing. Notice the alignment of the new bushing. The back is pointing down, and the fasteners are on the outside of the vehicle. This view is looking upward at where the front control arm bushing will be seated. You can tell it's in the correct position when the 2 holes sit on those alignment pins that are on the body of the car. Once you have those seated correctly, go ahead and tighten both new bolts to 45 foot-pounds.